Welcome back. All right, listen up. We're in the top secret server room right now. This is going to be the important one. This is going to be everything. I'm going to show you exactly how I trade, how I find my levels, how I want price action to come up to my levels, how I'm going to wait for it, how I'm going to take the trade, enter, exit, everything. I haven't done a video like this. It's going to be probably 15, 16 minutes long, but if you give me that 15 minutes, I promise that you'll know the exact way I trade. It's the same way I trade every day. It's the way I trade with the group. I've been trading like this for years, and once I stuck to this strategy, it just everything clicked. Thanks again for watching. The link to everything will be in the bio, the Instagram, the Discord. We trade live every day on there. We are slowly building up a nice little community. I would love for you guys to join. We will get to it. Leave a like, leave a sub. This took me forever. This actually took me a few hours to record, edit. It is a lot more than it seems, actually. So, like I said, I'm going to make this absolutely as simple as I can. I'm not going to overcomplicate things. I want people to be able to look at this and be like, oh shit, that actually makes sense. I want them to be able to look at it, see it on something else. It doesn't have to be what we trade. You can do it on whatever, and actually be able to apply it. So I'm going to try and just make it very simple, very straightforward, and we will get into it. So you are going to see these all over the place. Supply and demand, level to level, support and resistance. They're all basically the same thing. People will tell me that they're not, but honestly they are. Go watch anyone who says they trade any one of these things. They're basically all going to be doing the same thing. They might have different ways to enter. They might have different ways to enter, like different criteria, different rules, but they're all fairly the same thing, to be honest. You don't need to overcomplicate things. It's so simple. A 6-year-old could do it. All that we are doing in supply and demand, level to level, support and resistance, is we are trying to find a point where we can confidently expect a move. We would want to find a point where we can confidently expect a move. We would be sitting here waiting for this. It would come up to this. We would see how price action reacts. Maybe we'll get a tiny push through it and fail it. Maybe we'll start hesitating down here, and then we would take a trade accordingly. Obviously, the main question is, how do you find these levels? That's the important part. The first thing that we need to do is find an area of importance. That's what I like to call them, because usually they will be popping out on a chart. You will see a lot of chop, or you'll see a movement, and then it'll have a dead halt, or it'll have a ceiling or a floor built. And what I mean by that is, say we have this massive push up, then we have a little bit of consolidation, then a push up, then we hit this spot, and then we're gone. That's it. We came up, we hit this spot. Then maybe a day goes by, we're trading, whatever, we're trading, another day goes by, come back up, hit that spot, gone. Same thing. This would become an area of importance. We would start to watch this. There's a reason that this is happening, right? It's not just happening for no reason. We need to figure out the reason. What this means, there are massive sell orders here. There are orders sitting here from whoever, massive retail traders, institutions, hedge funds, whatever you want to call them. There's orders sitting here by big money. So when it comes up here, their orders get filled, price gets put down. There are unfilled orders. They do not care. They don't close them. They just leave them open. Maybe a day will go by, even a week will go by, months will go by. It doesn't matter. It'll come back up to that area. If it seemed to be strong before, you definitely want to pay attention to it again. If it comes back up to that area, you want to look at it again. I'm going to dive into the rejects first. That's the main way we trade these. We do obviously follow price action, so if we're going to end up in a trade and it ends up going like that on the same candle, we won't really, it'll kind of blow past our level and invalidate it, I guess, and then we'll usually change based on price action. We'll look at a break and retest. So now we're going to go apply this to a real chart. So I'm going to use an example that we did more recently. We are looking for an area of importance here. What does that mean exactly? We want to find something where it pushes up, pushes down, pushes up, pushes down, and it stops us out somewhere. So if you look here, when drawing these levels out, you want to be on a higher time frame. You want to be on the 1 hour or the 4 hour. You don't really want to be on the 5 minute or the 15 minute. The lower the time frame, the less strong the levels are going to be. You want them to be respected on a higher time frame. I'm going to go over a trade that we took on Friday. If we just look at this chart, we are on the 1 hour right now. I want to know to you guys what sticks out to you guys right here. What on this sticks out? Because to me, when I see this, we were down here, we had a massive push up, and we just built a top here. It looks like there's a ceiling here. So if you can see here, right on this level, so we'll draw a level here. Boom, right there. So I usually try to connect it to the most points possible. If we had like a perfect top of wicks right here, I would just connect the wicks. If we have like a body and then a wick and then a wick and then a wick like this, then I'll end up just marking the most points that I can. And if you look back, it was respected over here as well. We stopped this candle here, we bounced it here, we had some consolidation through it here. So you'll actually be able to look back and you'll be able to see if your level has been respected in the past. This was a massive push-up off a 1 o'clock candle the end of the day on Thursday. We built just a massive top. You can see it's a literal ceiling on this. So this would be an area of importance. I would mark this off. There's a reason why it completely stopped this rocket. So I would mark this off. You can also see that we rejected very violently off it. So something that I would do, I would mark this in the morning. If we are down here, we will pay attention to it. So I only mark usually the closest levels. I'll try to mark one above and one below. If we're like here in the morning, I'll mark one below and one above, and then we'll see which one we come to first. Say it was after Thursday or Friday morning, we marked this level off, we were looking at it. In the morning of Friday, 5 o'clock candle, we pushed down for that 1 hour. The 6 o'clock we were here, so we'll go down to a smaller time frame now. When you draw your levels on that 1 hour, on that 4 hour, you want to be able to go down to the 5 minute, the 15 minute, and you want to see them respected. So if you look at this here off the 5 minute, even though we drew it off the 1 hour, hit it there, rejected, hit it there, rejected, couldn't get through it, pushed up, rejected, rejected, pushed up, big rejection here, right? So you can see right here, very obvious that we had some form of rejection here. There was a reason that it was coming down. Honestly, the reason does not matter. You just need to realize that there was a reason and then there's a spot that this is happening. The less you make it complicated and the more you just visualize seeing this, I promise the easier it will be. So, Friday morning, we were looking at this. We do our watch list half an hour before open. We were probably somewhere 5:55, maybe 6 o'clock, so we were probably just sitting right around here. We would have been looking at this level when we did the watch list. It's the same level that I was watching, and it's also the same trade that I posted. Yeah, that's the right words I'm looking for. If you look at the Friday trade that I posted, this is the trade. So I'm showing you the exact trade, how I found it, everything. So we already had this level marked off. We were watching it in the morning. We said we were going to wait. We obviously had a level up underneath us as well, somewhere, I think it was right around down here on these tops. But level down here, it did bounce. We didn't hit our level for the bounce, and it was also right off the opening candle. And I don't trade the opening couple minutes because it's usually a shit show. It's not worth it. 90% of the time, it's going to push 30 or 40 points one way and either wick out or it's not worth it. Let a trend build. But anyways, we opened. This was the 6:30 candle. We're on the 5 minute right now. I'm going to jump you to the 2 minute actually because that's what I took this trade on. So here, we're on the 2 minute. We had this 6:30 open right here. Beautiful push up. We saw this fake out. We were sitting here. We kind of built a bottom here, like we drew a line. It pushed down. It wasn't part of our plan, so we didn't take it. And it was also an opening candle. So being that it was an opening candle, I said, watch, it's probably going to fake them out. And it pushed down, and then this candle closed. And then, yeah, being that we knew it was a fake out and we watched this close, it could have been a decent long here. But then, yeah, it still wasn't part of my plan, so we didn't take this. So we waited, we watched it push up, it didn't take long, we had beautiful volume off the open, and then we came up here. So what do we do when it's up here, right? If this would have came up, this 2 minute candle closed, this 2 minute candle opened, and then rocketed through it, I probably wouldn't have traded it, I would have just waited. We could have taken a break and retest, so we could have taken a push up, we would have waited here, if it kept pushing up, whatever, but then it would have came back down, hit this, and we could have taken a long. But my first idea is always backwards. It's always backwards. I know the trend is your friend. If we have a daily trend, I'm usually always with it. But I'm always backwards on these trades. So that being said, levels marked off, right? We go up in the morning. We let this candle close. So you'll see in the video, we let this candle close. This candle opened. It pushed up, stopped. Pushed up, stopped. If it would have like popped up, I probably would have waited. But it pushed up again, stopped, and then right as it was coming back down to a red candle, I entered short. This will give me enough reason. It rejected here, rejected here, rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. So it definitely could push through it because it's already rejected so many times, but at the same time, unless it gives me a reason that it's going to push through it, why would we think it would? If it rejects 5 times, why wouldn't it reject again? If it gives you a reason that it won't, if it rockets and pushes straight through the level, then sure, it's not going to reject. But as of right now, all of these tell me that it's just going to hit the spot again and reject. So, that being said, we took an entry here. This is a nice fucking move. This is massive, but this is nice. 30, 40, 50 points. Holy fuck, that is more than enough for a trade. That is beautiful. Most guys are hitting 10, 12, 15 points. Yeah, anything above that is quite a decent move. So that's the way that I've been trading these. So afterwards, we hit this. We were fully out by here. I didn't wait through all this. I was fully out of my position here. I saw this. So same thing, we pushed up, and then we just had a massive downtrend with a kind of a correction, but the way I was looking at this is I didn't want to come down and hit this correction and then bounce up, which that's exactly what we did. So I could have maybe got a couple points out of it and squeezed a couple points out of it, but yeah, that's kind of the way that I was looking to exit this. So we ended up squeezing this. We pushed up after. I didn't take the long, we were looking at it, but if we push up, same thing I just said, so we're going to push up. There's a good chance we'll just reject again. But if it tells you that it's not going to reject, if it gives you a reason that it's not going to reject, then it might be time to finally be getting through that level. It might be exhausted. It can only fill so many sell orders. If there's massive sell orders here, comes up, fills them, comes up, fills them. They eventually get bought out and worn out, right? So it can't do it forever. It ended up building a nice little wedge, broke the wedge out and then faked it out and then pushed back up above the level. So I don't trade breakouts, so we were just sitting here watching this whole thing. But yeah, here you're ended up on this level. I wouldn't even change the level. This I probably would have sat through, because if you were trying to take a break and retest, this would have pushed down, this would have pushed through this, and then here I would have let this close and been like, we'll kind of wait for the next candle, and then I would have waited for this. So I wasn't on the market by this point, but if we waited for a push up, we could have gotten a break and retest as well. So it could have basically been reject, or it could have been push up, retest through the level, and then straight up through. The only thing that's deciding that factor is price action. That's all it is. It's just price action. So in the morning, if we come up here, we stop, and we come down, and the next candle closes like that, I'm not entering short. If we come up, the next candle comes up, maybe on the single candle it pushes up and then it pulls back and closes here. Maybe the next candle pushes up and then pulls back, and then I would, just based off price action, just on the hesitation of the momentum, that's when I would start taking the short, like that. And then if it does push down here and pushes back up, obviously you're going to need some form of a stop. You're not just going to let it run blank. You need an area to pick. But that's kind of the way that I'd use price action to trade it. I would want to see how price is reacting when we actually get through this level. If we're going to slam through it, we're going to wait. Maybe we'll get a break and a retest back down. But if we keep like hesitating, not getting through it, and I have this level drawn out for importance, I'm going to take a reject. Simple as that. It's really as simple as that, and it works the same thing way to the bottom too. Here, we'll find a bottom one. Here, we'll take a bounce, for example. So, here, we'll get rid of this. Take this for example. Push up, came back down, held the tops of these. We kept wicking down and pushing up, wicking down, pushing up. It was holding all of the bodies of these up. Once we broke through this level, break and retest perfectly, and push up. We bounced a little high here. It was a little early, a few points early, but bounce, came back down, bounce, came back down. I think the only reason we got through this is because of the gap down here, but anyways, we gapped down, closed, and then look, it turned back to a ceiling. Floor to ceiling, ceiling to floor, 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 floor. You get under it, push back up, ceiling. So you take this hourly, for example. We pushed up, break and retest, we come back down. This is somewhere where I would have expected to try a bounce. Obviously it was midnight here, so we didn't take it, but bounce, push back down, bounce, same thing. And then we get underneath it, and ends up turning to resistance. So if we jump down to the 5 minute, when you can see us coming down here, bounce, came back down. Once we finally got through it, still being respected. So it's still being respected. So when we were coming down here, we would have seen a push up. I probably just would have, this is a very consolidated, so I probably would have just left it, but you can see we were starting to fail it, and then it got extremely violent. Came back up, hit it, extremely violent, and it just kept happening. So it was respected in all of these zones. It's respected in these zones. I think it's actually still respected recently as well. Yeah, exactly, right here as well. So same thing. Area as well. You can see we were building this little range here from this gap. We had these wicks here. So that's something I would have looked at as well. So say we're going to look at a level for tomorrow, right? Something we want to watch, something we want to pay attention to. What do you guys see here? Is there anything in particular? Anything specific? Because what I see is we have built another top. This is on the 4 hour. We had a push up, a little bit of a reversal, push up, stop, push up, stop, push up, stop. 4 times. What does that mean? It means there is a reason here that is happening, right? So, that being said, I would probably wait. I would see how price action reacts. If we open up on Sunday, I don't trade till Monday. If we open up on Sunday and we push up over this, then obviously it's going to change and we'll have to redraw our levels. But say we push down, I would wait. I would wait for us to come back up and show us price action here. Whether we take a reject, whether it rockets through it, and we push up. So, that being said, if we open and we push down, we push up, push down, whatever, when we come back up, I would want to see how price action reacts for us to take a trade here. If we start hesitating, I would probably take a short. If we get a candle that rockets us straight through this, what can I draw? If we get a candle that rockets us straight through this, we can either see if that candle fails, and if it doesn't fail, then we can see if we end up getting a break and retest. But technically, we have a trade for all sides of it. It's just price action. It really comes down to price action. So there is, that's where you can kind of be wrong. Obviously, it's not bulletproof. You can just be dead wrong about what you see in the candles doing, and then they can also just kind of do what they want to do, right? But I base my trades based on price action. Like I said, I always go backwards first, like not instantly, but that's always my bias to take the trade. So I would wait. I would want to see us push up and maybe take a short there. Obviously, if we open up on Sunday, if we don't push down, if we just open up and we push up, we'll redraw our levels. But just based on price action, that's just kind of what I'm thinking. That's how I trade. It's extremely straightforward. Like it's so straightforward. I see a level, I see it stop. You want to see a big move and you want to mark it out. You want to wait for price to come near it again, and you want to just react accordingly. It's really that simple. You want to get as many touches as you can. You want to be able to see 1, 2, 3 touches, 4 touches. The more you can get, the better. At least 2 or 3. If you're on the 4 hour, 2. If you're on the 1 hour, 2 or 3. No less than that. Like 1 maybe. Like pay attention to it, but yeah. Find what looks important. It's literally that simple. It's that easy. You see it stops here, it stops here, it stops here. You mark this out, pushes up, stops here, and that's simple. And that being said, this doesn't look like a massive rejection, but you don't need a massive rejection. Like look at this. That's at 730, price is at 680. You don't need more than 40 points in a trade, I promise you. Like you can usually catch 10, 20, 30 points off of these moves. Even if you're on a rocket, if you have a strong level, it should be able to reverse and come back and give you your points. It doesn't mean you're going to hold it all the way back down. It's not going to fully change the trend, but it's enough of an area of importance where it'll actually do something for you, if that makes sense. I'll do more of these. I'm sure they'll get more refined as I do them. This is the first time that I've tried to really show someone like this and just try to teach it as simple as I can. So I hope you guys liked it, and I hope it was informative. And yeah, if you want to see more, shoot me a like, shoot me a sub, and Instagram will be in the bio, the Discord will be in the bio. I'm going to be back with these all the time, so get used to it. Otherwise, yeah, thank you so much, and we will see you again soon.